Today's episode is a little bit different, and it's a major pep talk. And I want to cue it up for you. But first, I want to ask you, is it hard? Does it feel hard to be a health coach, to start a business, to develop a practice, maybe build a program, work with clients, find clients, market yourself, put yourself out there on the socials? Does it sound hard? It is hard. It is objectively hard. I want to validate that. Is it the hardest thing you've ever done? Probably not. Hi, I'm Erin Power. I'm a health coach, a health coaching educator and mentor, and your host of Health Coach Radio. This podcast delves into the art, science, and business of health coaching. Whether you're aspiring to land a coaching dream job or to embark on your own entrepreneurial adventure, we cover it all. Our mission is to help you grow your career, elevate your income, change the lives of the clients who need your help, and leave a lasting mark in this rapidly growing field. It's time for health coaches to make an impact. It's time for Health Coach Radio. So what you're going to hear today is a conversation I had with one of my students. Let me set the stage for you. So you might know or you might not know, I'm a practicing health coach. I have been for 12 years. I'm also on the faculty of a health coaching school, a great one, Primal Health Coach Institute. And we're a nationally board-approved school. We've been in this game for a long time. We have all kinds of advanced and specialty coaching certifications. We know what we're doing. And we have thousands of graduated health coaches out there in the world doing health coaching. I teach a couple of advanced courses in our school. One of them is an advanced health coaching course, so advanced coaching skills. Really recommend you learn how to be a great coach. The second one is a business building course, and this is sort of like beginner business coaching. We call it Launch Your Coaching Business. I feel very passionately about this because I think there's no reason for you not to launch your coaching business, quite frankly. The spirit behind this course was, if you came to my house for the weekend, we'd have you launched by Monday. And by launch, I mean just the moving parts in place to accept clients, to put clients into a curriculum. We could get this done in a weekend. So this is a 6-month course that I work alongside our students, and they get access to me. They get coaching from me. And it's sort of an open coaching forum. So today's episode is a snippet from one of those open coaching calls. The student you're going to hear is Suzanne. And just to, again, bring you up to speed, Suzanne joined the Launch Your Coaching Business course maybe 3 or 4 weeks before. Okay, so 3 or 4 weeks ago, she joined the course and then started hitting the ground running, getting ready to launch a business. Now, when I encourage coaches to launch their coaching business, I'm thinking about a one-to-one high-ticket coaching program. Okay, this is probably going to be one-on-one coaching, you and the client, one-on-one, so like weekly coaching calls. You're going to have some kind of curriculum or methodology or program that you'll enroll the client in that teaches them what you need them to do. And that's where I really do believe every coach should start. You really want to put your emphasis on building this, what we call high ticket, high touch, personalized one-on-one coaching program and building the methodology that supports it and the systems that support it too. The systems would be things like setting up the coaching calls, having a community, whatever the technology might be that's required. And quite frankly, there's not that much technology, so don't worry. If you're self-identifying as a non-techie person, please keep listening, first of all. Secondly, my personal encouragement to you is it's time to be techie. It's 2024. By the time this comes out, it's practically 2025. Like, we are in the future. So it's time to get techie. The tools and systems and programs and processes involved to launch a business are designed for people who aren't that technical. So don't worry, you can do it. So anyway, the point is, I want to get my business students thinking about a high ticket, high touch, one-on-one long-term coaching program. I want them to really double down on creating that. Now, just so you know, you don't have to have the whole thing created before you go to business. You only have to have the idea of the thing created before you go to business. As long as you have the idea and maybe the first step of the thing crystal clear, you're in business, baby. It's time to start talking about it. Get some folks in there, and you're going to guide clients through this methodology and continue to build the methodology as you go. Your clients will help you build it. That is basic advice.
Hi, it's Erin Power here, co-host of Health Coach Radio. Fitness has always been a part of my life. I used to train clients one-on-one, and I still teach group exercise classes to this day. Fitness is how I got started on my journey to health coaching. Working as a fitness trainer, I always wanted to go deeper than the reps and help my clients incorporate fitness and movement into every aspect of their lives. I instinctively knew that reaching fitness goals depends on pulling the focus from performance and putting it on holistic, sustainable change. And that's exactly what the Primal Fitness Coach certification shows coaches how to do. Your clients deserve to move better, feel better, be pain-free, enjoy exercise, and love their bodies. The Primal Fitness Coach certification teaches you how to train people to be fit for life, to avoid injuries, increase mobility, develop lean muscle mass, protect joints, and optimize metabolic health. This well-rounded functional fitness certification covers best practices for daily movement, strength training and conditioning, HIIT exercises, sprinting, and more. It also includes practical hands-on coaching training and business development lessons to help you launch and grow a profitable fitness coaching business. Visit primalhealthcoach.com to learn more about the Primal Fitness Coach certification.
So I mentioned that because Suzanne, who you're going to hear from in this conversation, she's not doing that. Here's what she's doing. And I welcome this as well. So she is working, I should clarify, she's working on her high-ticket one-on-one coaching offer. But in the meantime, she's going to run a 21-day challenge. So there's a 21-day short duration, low ticket, so low price tag, low barrier to entry. By that, I mean there's no application, there's no discovery call. You just buy now. You put it in your shopping cart, you pay for it, you start. This is kind of a cohort-based thing. Everybody's going to start on November 3rd. We're going to go together for 21 days. They're fun. These things are fun. They're not typically where I would encourage a brand new health coach to start, only because a brand new health coach probably doesn't have an audience. If you don't have an audience, it's hard to sell a group program. You got to try to get 5, 10, 15 or so or more people in it. If you don't have an audience, where are you going to find those people? Now, Suzanne has an audience. She's been in the health and wellness world for a long time. She's really respected. So she has a small to medium-sized audience. She's not like an influencer, just in case you're wondering, but she's got a little audience. So she decided while she's building her high-ticket coaching program, she's going to just quickly throw together a 21-day challenge. Now, this is pretty astonishingly cool in and of itself for somebody to do that. And by the way, I encourage you, if you're kind of a new health coach, like give it a try. But you have to hustle if you're going to do this, because a 21-day challenge, here's what I told Suzanne, and we're going to kind of pick this conversation up as midway through the conversation, but just to give you the backstory, you build this thing once, and it's a lot of work for the first one, because you have to build, the 21 days of learning. You have to decide what those are going to be. What's the message on each day of the 21 days? How are you delivering it? Is this going to be a daily email? In Suzanne's case, it's a daily email. It's also supported by app access. So she has an app she's using to deliver this methodology as well. And it's going to be supported inside a Facebook group where she's going to be doing daily Facebook lives. Right. So you have to do a lot of writing, a lot of thinking, you have to develop a lot of, pull a lot of technology in. You have to have a shopping cart link. You have to have your Stripe account set up so people can pay you. And, you have to have an email service, right? A MailChimp or a ConvertKit or an Active Campaign so you can set up this email automation to support the 21-day thing. There's a lot of work to do up front, but once it's done one time, it's done. You're going to tweak it here and there, but you run it and rerun it and rerun it. Okay. Personally, I have a short duration program. I'm sure I've talked about it here on this podcast. I will. Happy to talk about it again. The short duration program that I run is so done that I could decide tomorrow to run one and it would be no effort at all. It is done. You just repeat it. That's the beautiful thing about these things. And if you have a small to medium-sized audience like Suzanne does, or a larger audience, even better, it's a nice chunk of change. You get 15 or 20 or 25 people into this program. They pay you $100 or a couple $100, whatever you're going to charge for it. It's a nice little chunk of change. One thing that I really think is really cool about these little 21-day challenges is it encourages you to be sort of nimble and high level with your message, because you've got a room full, metaphorically speaking, of people who are kind of strangers and you don't really know who they are, where they came from. And you have to teach your approach to the quote unquote masses in a simple enough way that everyone can get it and everyone can execute. I think this is a fascinating exercise for anybody in the health and wellness field to do. Could you deliver your whole point of view, your whole health raison d'etre? Could you do that to a room full of people if you had to quickly? So anyway, I think there's a lot of benefit to running these things. I don't usually encourage students or health coaches, I should say, to start with a 21-day challenge, but in Suzanne's case, it worked out. So that's a lot of preamble. But here's the deal. Like 2 weeks ago, Suzanne decided to do this. And here, with this conversation you're going to jump into here is now 2 weeks later, and she's got it all ready to go. Okay? The only thing she has left to do is write an email sequence, which is just her sitting down and typing out some emails and getting it set up in an email automation system. I make that sound easy, but Suzanne has it a little harder than most of us do. So I ask you again, is it hard? Is it actually hard? So let's jump in midpoint into this conversation with Suzanne, and I'm going to come back, circle back with you in 10 minutes or so.
Like I keep thinking of what you said, the hard work is at the upfront.
Yes.
I will be able to, wash, rinse, repeat this. So
exactly. The last thing you have to do is your email sequence. And once that's written, this thing is done. And then if you want to run another one in December, January, it's the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah. And I can so see that as I'm doing all this heavy lifting right now up front that, I'm really developing a real program here. And I feel a lot of self-development as well in the process of attending to all the details.
Amazing. Yeah. Business development is personal development. We have to do a lot of hard things, a lot of tasks that have no immediate reward. The rewards of the tasks you do here, you might not realize them for, 6 months, a year. When you start having really big numbers, I'm so excited you're going to have 20 people into this first challenge. Now it's only going to grow from there, really. That's outstanding. And so I really just want to acknowledge that you did approach this sort of from the perspective of personal development, because it is. It's just way too easy to throw in the towel and say it's too hard. But out of curiosity, how hard was it?
Well, I like to share, and not in any complaining way, but for those of who don't know me, I am completely blind. I have no vision. So everything I do is with assistive technology, and I've hired people in strategic places. I can post to my personal Facebook page, but I can't run a Facebook group by myself because the technology just doesn't allow me to do that. So I guess you could say that really everything that I do is hard, but I'm willing to do hard. And when you do hard, you get good at doing hard. So that's the message that I share with people. Everybody has hard things, and they're all relative to their particular situation in life. But I do walk the walk of, attitude, mindset, personal wellness. I walk the walk, so I'm like a living example of what I want to share with people. And I hope that people are inspired that, well, gee whiz, I'm not blind. So, maybe this isn't as hard as I thought it was. And, that's really my message to people, is that we all have challenges and things to overcome. And the best way to do it is to do it. It's like building muscles at the gym. If you never lift that heavier weight, you're never going to get a stronger muscle.
That's right. That's really good. That's just a really good encouragement for people. And I'm astonished at what you can accomplish. So the reason I asked you that question, and I really appreciate the encouragement, is because I just want to validate to anybody how hard it seems when you're standing at the beginning of the thing, looking at all the stuff you have to do, these little technology things, more tools, more systems, learning new things, but every single thing is learnable. And for the average health coach, online entrepreneur, these tools, these systems are designed to be extraordinarily easy for people with sight. And then for yourself, Suzanne, you had to do an extra layer of figuring out and getting help. And you did it. And at a blistering pace, might I add. Like, you went very fast. I'm so proud of you for just getting this done. It's done. It's basically done.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. I think that, a lot of us are facing hard things. It may not be blindness, but a lot of us have hard things to undertake. And it's really just taking a step. And as a blind person, I have run 7 half marathons. And
Wow.
when you stand at the start line, it's pretty overwhelming. Your body packed with sometimes thousands of people. The biggest race I've run is in Brooklyn, New York. And, you're there with 35,000 people, and I can't see, and I'm holding a tether with a guide. But it's just, you start taking steps, and a half marathon is about 34,000 steps. So, many things in life are like that. They're a process of steps, and you can't begin unless you take a step and then another one and another one. And so that's like undertaking a challenge like this or a coaching program it seems like a lot of steps, and it seems overwhelming. And I just started taking one step at a time and am relentlessly pursuing the process. So that's
Yeah.
that's
love
where I'm at.
I love it. And there is such an analogy with I always think about the analogy and the parallel between what we as health coaches have to do and then what we ask our clients to do. So, just to leapfrog off of your half marathon example, like I ask my clients to begin with the beginning in mind. Just start and do the first thing. Just do the first thing. The first small thing is all you have to do. But it's these very small process goals, the little tiny, maybe pain in the butt, maybe they don't seem rewarding in and of themselves. An individual step doesn't seem as rewarding, but it's the accumulation of steps, which won't accumulate if you don't take the first one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I learned something new today. I did not know a half marathon was 34,000 steps. Did you know that? Somebody like Suzanne has to know that because she's probably on some level tracking her steps to know where she's at in the race. And I've often said that you couldn't pay me to do a half marathon. I'm just not an endurance girly. But quantifying it as 34,000 steps, first of all, 2 ways to look at that. 34,000 steps sounds like a lot of steps. That sounds like a lot of steps. Probably for some people like an overwhelming amount of steps. Well, for Suzanne, somebody who's very motivated to complete the half marathon, it started with the first step, and it's just an accumulation of small steps. It's a really, really good analogy. And Suzanne is a runner. She wants to complete the half marathon. That's a strongly intrinsically motivated goal for her. She wants it. Do you want it? Do you want to have a health coaching business? Then you got to take your first step and your second step and your third step. And individual steps feel unrewarding. They feel too small. They feel insignificant, but they mount up. And not to put too fine a point on it, but truly, health coaches listening to this, most of us at least have the advantage of sight. We don't have a multi-step process for each step like Suzanne does. For every step Suzanne takes is more steps than you would have to take. Is it that hard? Is it hard? Is it really hard? It is hard, but maybe it's not as hard as you think it is.
This podcast was brought to you by Primal Health Coach Institute. To learn more about how to become a successful health coach, get in touch with us by visiting primalhealthcoach.com/call. Or if you're already a successful health coach, practitioner, influencer, or thought leader with a thriving business and an interesting story, we'd love to hear from you. Connect with us at hello@primalhealthcoach.com and let us know why we need to interview you for Health Coach Radio. Thanks for listening.